Hey everyone, welcome back to Sadhguru's Talk. Today we are going to be discussing about the Computer Networks and Internet Protocol NPTEL 2025 Assignment 5 questions. Let's get started. First question. How does the TCP sliding window mechanism contribute to efficient data transmission? Options are by retransmitting all data upon detecting a single packet loss, by dynamically adjusting the size of the transmission window, by sending data in fixed size packets regardless of network conditions, by prioritizing specific data packets for faster delivery. So, the TCP sliding window mechanism ensures efficient data transmission by dynamically adjusting the size of the transmission window based on the receiver's buffer capacity and network conditions, as we know that. This allows TCP to send data continuously while ensuring that the receiver is not overwhelmed. So it also prevents unnecessary transmission and optimizes the use of available network bandwidth. So the answer is B. By dynamically adjusting the size of the transmission window. Second one, what is the potential drawback of Nagel's algorithm? So the options are increased error rate, increased latency for small packets, reduced bandwidth utilization, inefficient congestion control. Nagel's algorithm can introduce additional latency for small packets as it waits for either an acknowledgement of the last packet or enough data to fill the MSS before sending. So this can be undesirable in applications requiring low latency communication. So the answer is increased latency for small packets. Third one, which mechanism is used to avoid silly window syndrome at the receiver side? So actually Clark's solution, as we know that the options are delayed acknowledgement, Nagel's algorithm, Clark's solution, and fast retransmission. As we know that the Clark solution is used to avoid silly window syndrome at the receiver side. It prevents the receiver from advertising a small window size until the buffer can hold a significant amount of data. So the answer is Clark's solution. Fourth one, what impact does a higher alpha value have on Jacobson's algorithm? So the options are given. In Jacobson algorithm, alpha controls the smoothing of SRTT. A higher alpha places more emphasis on historical RTT values, reducing the influence of a new RTT measurements. This leads to a slower adaptation to sudden RTT changes, which may provide more stability but less responsiveness. So the answer is B. It reduces the impact of new RTT measurements on SRTT. Fifth one. When does TCP enters in congestion avoidance phase? The options are when slow start threshold is reached, after 3 duplicate acknowledgements, when the receiver's buffer is full, after the congestion window is halved. So TCP transmission from slow start to congestion avoidance once to congestion window size exceeds the slow start threshold. So the answer is A. Sixth one. If the checksum field in the UDP header is set to 0, what does it indicate? The answer, the checksum is not computed, the checksum is failed, the checksum is valid, the checksum is reserved for future use. A checksum value of 0 in UDP indicates that the sender did not compute the checksum. This is allowed only in IPv4, but in IPv6 the checksum is mandatory. So the answer is the checksum is not computed. Seventh question. What is the purpose of the pseudo header used in the UDP checksum calculation? To verify data integrity across multiple networks, to include additional information like source and destination IPs, to ensure compatibility with TCP, to pad the UDP diagram to a fixed size. The pseudo header includes the source IP, destination IP, protocol, and UDP length. It is used in the checksum calculation to verify the data integrity. So the answer is to include additional information like source and destination IPs B. Eighth question. What does the listen function to a socket programming? It binds a socket to an address. It puts the socket into a passive mode to wait for incoming connections. It actively connects to a server socket. It sends data over the socket. The listen function set up a socket to accept the incoming connections by placing it in a passive listening mode. So the answer is B. It puts the socket into a passive mode to wait for incoming connections. Ninth one. Which function can be used to configure socket options like timeout or buffer size? So the options are given. Now, the set socket opt function is used to configure various socket options such as timeout values, buffer sizes, and other protocol specific settings. So answer is A. Set sock option. Last question of today's video. What is the advantage of an iterative server over a concurrent server? So it is faster in handling multiple requests. It is easier to implement a debug. It supports asynchronous I/O. It has lower response time for high traffic scenarios. An iterative server is simpler to implement and debug due to its sequential nature, making it easier to manage compared to concurrent server models. Now the answer is B. It is easier to implement and debug. That's it for today's video. So these are the assignment 5 MCQs. We'll see more videos in the future. Please subscribe for the further videos. Thank you. Thank you once again.